Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 Shadowkeep for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of the Worthy Intel. And in this video, we are going to be discussing a newly discovered glitch regarding a shard of the Traveler. I'm going to get to all this information regarding this glitch and some secrets associated with it in just 1 second. Going to be a little bit of a different vibe on today's video, guys. But before I do, I just want to remind everybody, I'm still doing the giveaway on my YouTube channel at 20,000 subscribers, and we're so close. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway is like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell, right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box below. And as always, guys, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, guys, those secret hashtags stack between all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Alright, now, Shard of the Traveler glitch. What do I mean by this? So recently, there was a very prominent video on Reddit that got quite a bit of steam, and I'm going to leave a link to everything I talk about in this video also in the comments section regarding a new, maybe hidden Easter egg, something that we were maybe supposed to know about that wasn't fully realized until recently. This might have something to do with future DLC content or content that we were supposed to receive that we never actually did. So moving right into it, I'm going to show you a piece of footage now. Now this was posted on Reddit through a Twitter link, and I'm going to leave that link to this Twitter user's channel or page down in the comment section, or excuse me, in the description. So I want to give a big shout out to him. This is DJ XYZ0, I believe is what he goes by. I have seen him. He's fairly prominent on Twitter many times in the past. And I'm going to show you, again, a clip of what he posted on Reddit. But I also want to give a shout out to my buddy JB3. I've talked about him before on this channel. I'm going to leave a link to a video that he made about the same subject, and he actually did the same glitch, and I do believe that the method that he used allowed him actually a better purview, or more purview over what we were going to be talking about in this video. So I'm going to leave a link to his video as well down in the description box. It's really good quality. He's got a great channel. Again, I've talked about he's so close to 10,000 subscribers. Maybe we can get him a little bit closer on this video. So let's move on. Here is that clip from DJ XYZ0. Now, as you can see, he has glitched from this mission. This is the Shard of the Traveler mission. Now, I don't actually know how he got into this mission again. I'm not totally sure the method to go back. This was one of the original missions from D2 Vanilla, where you had to, I think it was to regain one of your other subclasses. You would go through the Shard of the Traveler several times, and it was an interesting mission. Talked about different things in the past, possible future DLC or lore that we hadn't known to that point. But essentially what both DJ XYZ0 and JB3, lots of numbers and letters there, have both done is they've, I'm assuming, restarted their characters to a certain point that allowed them to go back. Maybe they even deleted their accounts, I'm not totally sure, and redo this mission again. And once you're in the mission, using the sword flying technique, which again will be illustrated better in JB3's video, though it was also what DJXYZ0 also used as the method to get to the area that we'll be showing again. I previously just did. Really, is the only way I think you could get there. They find these pillars that we've seen elsewhere. So now let's go back to that footage just 1 second. As you can see, there are these white pillars, tons of them. And as DJXYZ0 shows here in the left-hand corner, we've seen these in the corridors of time in the past. Now this was the last season or the previous season before that's sort of secret mission, kind of one of the things that the season revolved around, the restarting of the lighthouse, which ultimately resulted in us being able to go into Trials of Osiris this season. So it was the last season. Yes, I was correct on that. But basically, if you don't remember or you don't know, the Corridors of Time had this sort of secret code that we had to slave over. People did. I was not one of them, but certain people I know. Big shout out to Scaro9. I believe it was him who was doing some serious brute forcing, and CB Gray, another great YouTuber. Both great YouTubers. I think they were really putting in the hours trying to decode that. But at the end of the mission, if you went through the right passageways, you got this sort of code imprinted on these hexagonal boxes underneath a tomb of some kind, who we at first thought was maybe Saint 14's tomb. Then it turned out that it was actually our tomb in the future, something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what the lore was behind it, but when we decoded all of these, you would eventually get another passageway code that allowed you to get a, I believe it was a new exotic. In one case, it was just a new emblem, but I think it was, I can't remember exactly which exotic it was, but last season's primary exotic. And also help unlock the lighthouse, or was kind of playing into that lore. So most of it revolved around Osiris and his lore. But we didn't really know exactly how the Corridors of Time really played into it, beyond the fact that Osiris was involved. But now we get this imagery of these same hexagonal tablets or pillars near the Traveler, or the Shard of the Traveler. And I am not a lore guy, so my knowledge on some of these things is limited. But I do remember in one of the, I believe it was not Passages of the Nine, but it was during the season of the Drifter when we would get those cutscenes with the Drifter. Now I'm just sort of riffing here, guys, so stay with me. We got these scenes of the Drifter, and I've talked about this with other people in the community. We never really knew exactly what to make of it, or even if it has any, will play any prominence in the future lore or DLC. But the Nine, who we come in contact, or we see the Drifter having sort of visions of meeting and talking with, talk about anomalies. They sound as though they're referring to individuals, maybe characters that we've already met, maybe some that we haven't met yet. But from what I remember, the Nine didn't really have any major role in the sort of playing out of whatever war was being fought between the light or the dark. They were just sort of the people who watched it, who are the entities that watched it. But they talk about three very interesting sort of characters or players of the game, and I think is how they describe it. That one steps out of time, they say. One has learned to sort of craft their own will, I believe was the name of it, or something along those lines. I can't remember what the third one was, but there was a third one. And at the time, I guess my just inclination was that they were talking about the Drifter, they were talking about Osiris, and I thought they were talking about Mara Sov. Mara Sov is also seen in some of those visions, so maybe that was what maybe that's why I thought about it. But they could have also, I remember, feel as though they could have been referring to somebody else. Not totally sure. But the first two, I do remember strongly believing that it was going to be, one was definitely Osiris, and the other seemed to be the Drifter. And since that season, which was last year now, during the Forsaken expansion, we have seen more of Osiris. The whole last season designated, essentially the Osiris season, and into this season with the trials being sort of still having a cryptic edge to it. I know that people, when they go to the tower, I unfortunately have not yet, but there is a way you can see Osiris talking with Saint 14 at the exotic chest from a distance, but as you get close, I think it's like a hologram of him. He disappears. So, I still believe he is, well, it's obvious that he's still playing a major part in the lore and story moving forward. Not only from that, and the fact that the whole last season was sort of completely about the Corridors of Time, or solely about the Corridors of Time and Osiris bringing Saint 14 back. There's also the cutscene with Osiris and the Warmind basically asking, you need to decide, which team you're on, and that kind of plays into this whole season. And that was a sort of an interesting cutscene because we had never seen or even thought that Osiris and the Warmind really had anything to do with one another or would have any interaction. They hadn't up until that point, and sort of were playing two different sides of a much bigger lore and story that we didn't really know how it would if or when it would connect at all, or if some people were just kind of side stories and some were really the more prevalent characters that we were going to be following. But that's going to be it, sort of, for the rant and a little bit of lore, as much as I know it, sort of revolving around this new thing that maybe we weren't supposed to be able to see. But I do believe that maybe we were supposed to eventually get something that was maybe sort of retconned or moved to another branch of the story based on just the way that Bungie's gone through transitions over the last couple of years. That, there's been stuff that's been planned that has been moved to later dates or, reconstituted to something else. So you never know how these things play out. But I did think this was very interesting when I saw it, so I wanted to show it to you guys. And maybe you can go out and using the sword flying and doing this glitch if you know how to get back to the Shard of the Traveler mission. Again, I refer you to those two videos. They will be linked down in the description. One is just a longer version of what I showed you, and then there's JB3's, which has, it's also longer, but also has a little bit more description to it. So thank you all so much for watching today, and for the secret hashtags for today's video, leave a hashtag Season of the Worthy, or a hashtag Shard of the Traveler, or a hashtag, I don't know, Osiris, just because he's sort of in this, or any other thing maybe revolving around this video. Maybe there's a hashtag Corridors of the Time. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Be inventive if you'd like at that point, but I will accept any of those that I mentioned as well as any interesting ones. Thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate everybody who's subscribed lately. As I said, we're very close to 20,000 subscribers, and that's quite a feat. So I am truly, truly grateful to everybody who is part of this community and helps support this channel. As always, I am Wilhelm Scream. We will see you in the next video. Little!